episode of Bourbon Idiots.
Woohoo!
That's Phil. I'm Jeremy. We don't know shit about bourbon. Well, you know more than I do. Like I've only been in it for 2-3 years now. About
Drinking bourbon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been drinking a lot longer than you.
A lot longer. Brag about it. You know, you hear it, there's like a mystique around it, and prefer bourbon neat. And I'm drinking bourbon neat, and the guy next to me had like a Cosmo or a Martini or something, and he was scared to talk to me, he said. But the next drink I ordered, like, I don't care, just give me the fruity shots or whatever they have.
Right.
And he said, like, well, this guy is definitely a tough guy drinking bourbon neat. I'm like, well, no, that's not, it's like the stigma around it, but it can be intimidating.
And not everybody has the same taste buds, so to speak.
Oh, not at all.
As other people, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I say Baskin Robbins makes 31 flavors for a reason. And I've got the cilantro tastes like soap gene, you know, and I know fucking people love cilantro. All right, we're going to do the Blanton's lineup today. We're lucky enough. We pay retail. we don't. I don't like promoting the secondary market. It's almost that it's become the primary market, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, $800 for a CYPV.
Is it 800 now?
That's that one bottle we found. Yeah.
It's regrettable, especially like CYPB is delicious, but to pay what's like $250. You can see regular for like $250,
right? But
it's retail $69. I think they bumped it up to. It was like $65. I think they actually raised it up now. No, it's even. I think even that, even $70, $80, I think is a high price for this. I mean, the bag is cool. You don't always get the bag. Sometimes you'll get one that is just in that mesh. Like right. They're not always in a bag in a box. Sometimes you'll get them, I've heard, with the wax broken. And I don't know what that indicates. If it had damage during shipment or what. So this is actually a private barrel selection. Rick number 40. What was the Rick number we saw on yours? It was high. It was like 1,000? Yeah. I've never seen 1,000. But yeah, Phil had a bottle we had last night where the Rick number was in the thousands, which I'd never. This is 47. So the higher the Rick number is higher up in the warehouse, right?
That's my understanding, yeah. I've never been to the Blanton's warehouse or distillery or anything.
Okay, and again, we're idiots. So, like, I didn't do any research. I'm not.
No. Yeah, we didn't even talk about what we were doing until, hey, bring that bottle of whatever. Okay.
We were just at a Jeep run an hour ago. Hey, right. Let's do this. Yeah, I think it's the higher the Rick number is, the higher up in the warehouse it is, and that's desirable because the temperature fluctuations in Kentucky, get colder at night, and then as the fluctuations happen, the barrels go through more. I don't know what you'd even call it.
They absorb more and discrete more, or what's the word? Expel when they soak it in when it's one temperature, it gets colder and they push it out.
Oh, is that okay?
Like the pores open up.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Close and push the bourbon back out.
And if you have those fluctuations, instead of it just like, if you store it, cold, dry place, what they say, because that's stable. You don't want stability. You want the barrel to go through stress, and then you get those tannins. But yeah, this is one we've had Blanton's before. Mash bill number 2 from Buffalo Trace, which I know the exact percentages aren't out there, but a little bit more rye. I don't taste more rye. It's decent. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody talked about like comparing other stuff to Blanton's. Like, there's other bourbons out there that taste real similar to it that you can get for about the same price range as a unopened bottle or what do you want to call it, retail price for regular Blanton's. But
and we're talking, it's under 93 proof because they proof them all down. They're all single. Blanton's claim to fame is the original single barrel whiskey, so that's why every bottle has, what barrel it came from, the number of bottle from that barrel, the Rick number. They're all warehouse age. All Blanton's from warehouse age. And then the date it was dumped on, which is when they've taken it from the barrel into, like a hopper? What would you, to them before they bottle it. But they proof it down.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. exactly what their process is. I've never been there. Not like for me to comment about it. I really don't know. I mean, I can speculate, but I've never seen it done there.
Yeah.
So
I know it comes out of. I mean, we know it comes out of the barrel hotter at a higher proof, and then they'll add what, distilled water. I'm assuming. I don't know. They're probably not throwing creek water in there or something, but I mean, it's good. It's not. It's only 90. It's under 100 proof, so it doesn't hit you in the face with a burn.
still got a good amount though for being a 90-some proof. You know, there's other bourbons out there at the same proof that don't have the alcohol burning sensation you get when you take a drink.
That's what always gets me. Yeah.
Like you can't smell. I mean, you can smell obviously, but you can't. How do I put it? Like if you had not pure grain. What's that? Like straight ethanol you get in a bottle.
Like moonshine?
No, just Everclear.
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 Okay.
Like if you had an Everclear, you know, it's what is it, 190 proof or whatever. It burns your nostrils. You know what I mean?
190 proof?
Oh yeah, it's up there.
It's almost 100% alcohol.
Yep. But yeah, it burns your nose. Like here, you smell and you can smell some flavors.
Right.
Some notes of other stuff. You know,
Right.
like
I get wood.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not.
This one's not
sophisticated
leathery.
per se. Yeah.
Like I don't smell the fruits that people say you.
I'm not gonna bullshit people like, oh, I get carrot and whatever, like clove, cherries, vanilla. Vanilla's the one that gets me all the time that you read in a review. I get vanillas and this, and like, if you do, great. If you have a sophisticated, I don't think I've ever had a bourbon that I would say has vanilla. Cherry, yeah, like Eagle Rare, I get cherry.
Cherry, yep.
But this is
Like that's what I was saying about this one. I don't get like a cherry note.
no, I just get just wood.
And it's not like the oak, like Jack. You know what I mean? You don't get that oak.
I can't get.
Yeah.
Can't do Jack. Phil loves Jack, hence his Sturgis Jack Daniels hat. I can't do Jack.
But overall, it's a good bourbon. I mean, not saying we drink this every day, because we can't.
Right.
But if we could, we probably would.
If it wasn't $70 a bottle, retail, which I think that is a bit high. I think secondary market is just ridiculous. I think a lot of guys will say like Blanton is overrated. You hear that a lot. Like when we stand in line at events, you hear a lot. Blanton's overrated. Blanton's overrated. I don't know if that's because truly they don't want to go into the hunt for it, or if it's the taste.
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of it being overrated is people that do look for it, when they do find it, it's $200 a bottle. Retail wise, there's, like I said, there's other stuff that's comparable, same price, same alcohol content, real similar notes, smooth that you can find. And we're not going to name any of those today, but it's like part of the fun is seeking out and looking for. To me, you know what I mean? Like I drink Jack every day. I can get it every day.
Yeah.
You know, typically when we're together, we don't drink Jack. But
because I can't drink Jack without my head turning to the side, like I'm convulsing or something. I can't do it. I just can't. So we're using Glencairn glasses, which I mean you'll hear a lot of time. The shape of the glass, like funnels the scents, and I've heard it both ways about swirling, where it's not wine, don't swirl it, because it's a higher alcohol content. If you swirl, all you're going to get is just the burn. But then I've heard straight, I'm not going to name it, the distiller, I've heard straight from an owner at an event, swirl it, getting like, well, wait a minute. Now I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like,
right.
This person's telling me not swirl. So whatever. I mean, if it helps you, I personally think swirling it, especially for a hotter, like a higher proof bourbon, is not the way to go. Because then you're going to get just the alcohol.
Right.
But with this being under a hundo, I honestly just get wood, but not overpowering. Wood in the front, maybe a little bit of cinnamony, but not like a candy red hot cinnamon, just like a pie spice kind of cinnamon, and then a clean finish. Like it doesn't linger.
It finishes smooth.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Luna. Bye, Luna. But not bad. And then if you get into it, every bottle has a horse on top, and you can just buy them. Like, you don't need. I mean, some people say that's cheating. Honestly, who cares? I mean, you can just buy the set from Blanton's and not get into the hunt of them. I think it's under $100 for the set. But each stopper has a letter that spells out Blanton's, with the S on the end. So there's two N's. One N is just an N. The other one actually is not an N apostrophe. It's an N colon if you look really close. So people get into the hunt of collecting the horses. And there's technically 4 sizes of horses. There are 4. So the normal stopper is on the 750 bottle. It's also the same size stopper. The 375 bottle, which literally looks like a hand grenade, has the same size horse as the 750. There is a little 50 milliliter bottle with a tiny horse.
There's your horse.
That one came in this candle.
Oh, that was in the candle?
Yeah. So there's the regular size that have letters. The one on the airplane size bottle, the 50 milliliter bottle, they're all the same horse. They don't have letters. The gold is the same size. They have letters. This giant one, you can get a candle from Blanton's. They have letters. And then you get a random. It's smaller than the bottle topper, and it does have a letter on it. But I don't know if they do all the letters.
Yeah, that's an N.
Yeah.
That's the second N, right?
I can't see it. It's an N.
That'd be a cool Monopoly piece.
It would,
It would be. It's just the right size.
Blanton's Monopoly. Excuse me. I've seen Blanton's chessboards, which, God, that's a lot. Or you can just buy them. And at the end of the day, no one's going to judge you if that's what you want to do, especially when you're talking $70 retail for a bottle, or I think it's about that for the whole set. Whatever. Oh, and it's a horse race. So they start at B and he's standing still. The horses with all the different letters are all in different positions. And then the S, he has his arm up in victory. Just like this one on the candle is an S. If you buy the candles on the website, you can pick which letter you want. And I'm guessing the one inside is random, I'm assuming. But yeah, I mean, it's easy. It's good. It's not bad. If you read online, it is higher rye than mash bill 1.
But I don't get
any rye.
a rye out of it.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not sophisticated. I don't know.
Yeah.
And we just opened that one. That's what they'll call a neck pour. I don't know if it's the shape of the Blanton's bottle, but I don't get some bottles that are the taller, skinnier. You'll have a lot more difference. I mean, at least I think.
Yeah, like Eagle Rare and E.H. Taylor. Even the Calumet.
Yeah, Calumet. Yeah.
Even though that's a blend, it has a different taste in the neck than it does in the body.
Is it blended? But on a taller bottle, I tend to get more differentiation between like is when you fresh crack it and get the neck pour versus the ass pour. I don't know. Is there a name for the bottle?
I wouldn't call it an ass pour.
Why not? It's the ass pour. But yeah, you'll get different with a Blanton's bottle. I've never really had like a neck pour that's so different than like come back to a week later.
Right. Yeah, I've not either.
Yeah.
Most of the smaller bottles that are fatter don't have that differentiation between the neck and the body. You know what I mean? It's the taller bottles that are skinnier that tend to have that flavor difference.
Yeah. And I don't know what causes it.
I don't know if it's light, like any kind of like sunlight or light, because most of them are in boxes. You know what I mean? Until you open it.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
You know.
But it's also like let's say not when it's allocated like these ones. If it's readily on the shelf, I I mean, yeah, it's a little different at the top when you first open it, but
Yeah.
it's exposed to light all day, every day. I'll let you pour this one because this is actually your bottle.
Don't matter.
So this is Blanton's Gold, which retails for what, 120?
Yeah, I have a heavy hand, Jeremy.
Yeah, our tastings are going to be more than. So I mean, it's not double MSRP for the regular. It is higher price. Is it higher proof?
It's hard to read because of the lettering.
Yeah, yeah. That gold on clear is pretentious.
Okay, so this one is, it was dumped on 10/4 of 23 from barrel 239. Rack number was 30,
Ooh, that's
and
low.
it's 103 proof.
So it's hotter. So that's
It's higher
100.
proof. This is the gold, right? Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the gold edition.
So we went from 93 to 103.
And right off the bat, I got a sweeter scent, sweeter aroma.
I get less burn.
Yeah. I don't smell the proofing that I commented about earlier,
So it's a higher proof but less burn. Did I get that smell sweeter? And normally,
Yeah.
like you don't want to like. We're guilty of influence. Like if you say something, if I say this tastes like asparagus, you're gonna taste asparagus.
I don't taste asparagus. No.
Good. But yeah, sweeter on the nose.
Yeah, it's sweeter on the palate.
Caramely, almost like a slight. Not as woody, not as burnt.
Yeah, it's not like the tannins, what they call tannins from an oak barrel. Sometimes that's a bitter, I guess. You can have things that are in an oak barrel that tend to be more bitter because of the oak tannins. You don't get that with this. Like I said, this is sweeter.
See, I get less burn on the nose, but I get more burn on the taste with the gold. And just overall, it tastes stronger, like just not as watered down. Maybe they just water it down, but I don't know.
We have a barrel proof, don't we?
That's
Okay.
the next one. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Wasn't trying to jump ahead.
Jumping.
Yeah, there's more burn. You get the burn in your belly, so to speak, Not so much the mouth. I don't get
On the back, I get the burn.
Yeah,
on the
I
back.
get it on the
Yeah.
back end, not right up front. It's a good aftertaste, the finish. Like it and like you said, the caramel part or whatever.
Yeah.
The oils, I guess, stick to your roof of your mouth and you can still taste it.
It's slightly different. I would like to think I could pick them out in a blind tasting, but they're damn close.
Yeah, I think we could. We'll have to do that one day.
Yeah, we'll do a blind Blantons. We're gonna do a bunch of blind stuff. We got ideas for episodes. Of our wives didn't want to participate today, but Phil's wife drinks bourbon as well. She's got a really good palate too, and much to Phil's chagrin, she likes the expensive shit.
Yeah. I have bottles I can't drink because I got to save them.
Well, what was the one distillery you went to, and they give blind tastes, and then was it JD?
Well, Jack Daniels, because she's not a Jack fan. She didn't drink bourbons before me. She barely drank beer. I got her into wine and then bourbon. So then with the bourbon, we went to the Jack Daniels distillery, and she was telling and I can't remember the guy's name. She might remember it. His name's on a bunch of bottles, but she's like, I don't like that one. He's like, what do you mean? Well, because I don't like to drink it mixed, and it's not good by itself. She's like, yeah, most people drink it mixed. That's Jack number 7. So then he went to Gentleman Jack, and then we went to Gentleman, then Barrel Select. So they have 2 type. One's a gold label, one's because it's barrel proof.
Mm-hmm.
She liked that one, the barrel proof one. And it's a higher alcohol content. She's like, oh, I like that one. He says, yeah, this is our more expensive one. Go figure, you know.
Go
so he was
figure.
laughing.
Yeah.
Different tastings, real similar, but still there's different notes in there.
And I think we talked about, because it is not a double price point, but I think it retails like 120, 140. If this is 70, I knew it was less
So
than
the gold
double.
is almost double.
Almost, but not.
Yeah, if you have an opportunity to get it at retail, I would say get it. It's worth having. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. On the secondary market, I'm sure it's way higher.
Yeah, I'm not looked. We have that app on our phone that would tell us, but we,
Yeah. If they
you
sponsor
can't go
us,
by
maybe
that
we'll name
because
it.
it depends on where you go. We're not afraid to drink it. We're not afraid to spend the money on it.
Well,
Not that we have it. It's just
I'm afraid to spend secondary. But
Yeah.
if you find it at retail, you gotta.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. We're not afraid to buy it and try it.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
stuff we bought, we tried, and it's like there was one. That's another episode. But anyway, I tasted it. I was like, oh, this isn't too bad. It's local. It's whatever. Not here, but where we were at.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be.
And
fun.
then, I don't know, a couple of months went by. I decided I'll take another little sniffer of it. And it was like, oh, my God, I like this. There's no way. It's just the way it aged in the bottle over a month.
Right, and that's like the neck pour versus. It's so
Yeah.
weird.
It's like, oh, man.
We'll tease. That's another one. We'll tease that. We've got two bourbons. Milliman Green, who is out of Blanco, Texas. I think it's a little west of Austin, I believe. And then one out of Wisconsin, Driftless Gun 5-year, that we thought tasted the damn same. Yeah, the gold is, my opinion, marginally better. Not double better, but I mean, if you're into Blantons and you're a collector, you got to get it to complete the set, so to speak.
Right.
And the bottle's cool looking. The horses definitely are offset from the pewterish of the regular. It's not as harsh.
No, not for being 103 proof. And I've tasted stuff that was higher proof or lesser proof that had more of a burn to it.
Mm-hmm.
But then we've tasted stuff that had a higher proof that had less of a burn. Okay, so all bourbons are whiskeys, but not all whiskeys are bourbon or something like that, they say.
Yeah, because bourbon has to be, in the U.S., at least, 50% corn or some shit like that? 40% corn. First aging in a new...
Yeah, I'm sure
char-
people are going to correct us on
I'm
this.
sure, whatever.
But, hey, that's part of the fun of learning, you
Yeah.
know, but...
And we're not Google. I could pull up my phone. Well, I can't pull up my phone because we're recording on it. I think it's 2 years. Yeah, the first aging has to be in a new charred white oak barrel.
Charred white oak, yeah.
And made in America. You can do a secondary aging because you'll see double oaked and stuff like. You can do a secondary aging in any used, even beer barrels or
Wine barrels.
Yeah, a lot of times they do wine barrels.
Yeah. And we've had a few of those that were pretty good.
They're pretty good. But Caribou Crossing,
Right?
what they call Canadian Blantons, it's sweeter. Blantons straight from the barrel. And the box is a different color. It's a darker color. The bag is the normal Blantons is cloth brown. This is almost like a pleather.
Yep.
The writing is gold. The regular is stitched in there. This is like a printed gold. It feels like a cheap car from the 80s. It's not real. Well, I don't think it's real leather. It feels pleather. The label looks like handwritten. So this says, again, all Blantons are single barrel. This says from barrel number 247, dumped on August of 2024, warehouse age. They're all warehouse age. This says Rick number 49. So, but 129 proof. So straight from the barrel, as the name says, it's supposed to be straight from the barrel. It's not proofed down. Unfiltered, uncut, and bottled straight from the barrel. So unfiltered is...
actually looks darker.
Yeah, let's put them right next to each other. I mean, that would make sense, because to
It's
proof...
less watered down.
Yeah, to proof it down, they add water. But it is definitely darker. The wax is a different color too. So this is a brown wax. This is like a fake gold wax looking. Wait, let's see. Can you?
Yeah, right.
So many people are yelling at me for doing this. Offset the neck pour.
Yeah, I've heard people say Blanton's is overrated, and to me, it's your own palate. If it's something you like, look for it, find it, get it. You know what I mean?
It's your money.
It's not something like I would drink every day. We don't drink to get drunk. We drink socially. I think we tend to drink more with each other than
we
do when
don't
we're
drink
out.
to get drunk.
Right.
Somebody goes out and falls downstairs. Hotter nose for sure, 130 proof, but still like a sweetness kind of.
Yeah. I taste the tannins. The tannins come out in this more. There's that. It's a unique aroma. I can't say it's bitter.
Is that just
how do you say something smells bitter?
coffee like?
Yeah, but I love coffee.
Yeah.
And to me, coffee is not bitter.
When I think
like a
bitter,
lemon,
that's the first thing my brain goes to.
Like a lemon. A lemon is puckery, I guess.
It's called sour.
Yeah, sour, but it's not like bitter. You know what I mean?
No, calls a lemon bitter.
People say lemons are bitter.
Who says lemons are bitter?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
I can't
They're
mention
sour.
names. Yeah, they're sour, but definitely got the proofing
Yeah.
on the nose.
But still like a underlying sweetness. Like,
Yeah, when you get into it and tasting them, you can taste
oh,
the oakiness.
alcohol up front.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. Like a nuttiness almost?
I got the oak and the nut. Yes, you have the aroma or your nasal, the sinuses, your senses. You can smell the proofing, the alcohol content. But I don't get the burn for 129 proof.
On the taste, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even when you hold it in your mouth, swish it around and taste it. Yeah, you got the proofing there, but to me, it's not 129 proof.
No,
On
I
my
agree.
palate.
Yeah. I agree with you. And maybe I'm more biased because we just did the other lower ones, but it's not like smelling
Yeah.
salt.
And I'd like to bring that to light too. Whenever you're tasting something, the first taste, you can't go by that. That you're going to get the burn from the alcohol. Like we've had more than one taste, so to speak. So your initial sip, all you're getting is your proofing. You're getting the burn from the alcohol. So then your next sip, then you'll start to differentiate between the flavors that the bourbon has. I've noticed that. So
Yeah, I agree with you. Like your first taste is not going to be seen the same as your second taste.
yeah, I don't swish it around, but I do hold it in there.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Luna.
What are you doing, baby?
Checking on everybody.
Yep, we're here. You can't have any.
None for you.
You're not
No.
old enough. Well, you might be old enough, but
No,
it's not good for you.
not good for dogs. Yeah, I get the numbing of the mouth with a higher alcohol. Not a sweetness, but like more like a earthy nuttiness.
You definitely you get the nuttiness and all too, but
Yeah,
the tannins are there. This one has the tannins. Of course, it's uncut, so
right. I almost think the normal Blantons has definitely were wood, and then I lost the wood as we went up. The subtle sweetness is still there, but this, yeah, more earthy nuttiness. There's tannins in like coffee and tea, right?
not oak tannins,
But they're all
but there are tannins. Yeah, a tannin is a broad term.
okay. A lot of bourbons are chill filtered, so they cold filter them. And if you're lucky enough to win like one of those like barrel selects and you go down, usually you do the tour and they have like a pipette and you taste the barrel, you pick your barrel, and then when it's time to dump that barrel and bottle it, if you're lucky enough, you can specify whether or not you want it to be chilled filtered. And a lot of people will say don't filter it because then you get that more velvety. If you filter it, it appeals more to a wider audience. It doesn't linger on your. But if you, I agree with. I prefer an unfiltered because you get that voluptuous, nice,
It's a good word.
velvety. Yeah.
Yep.
No fruit, no vanilla, no clove, no fruit.
As you say that, now that you planted the seed,
Let's find out.
I just like took this
Shut up.
sniff and I was like, I get vanilla.
You did not.
It's because you planted the seed, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
A little bit of sweetness, and then that gives way to like nuttiness.
Yeah, the Blanton's Gold has a sweeter aroma,
Yes.
a sweeter smell, definitely, of the three.
Oh, I got the horse going the wrong way. So we're talking,
There's always one.
yeah, it's usually us. As of time of filming this, going from memory, I think this is 69 round up to 70 retail. I think like 120. And this bastard, if you can find it, is like 180, 200 retail. I think it's worth it. I've been looking for Blanton's straight from the bottle for a long time. I could find it on the secondary market pretty readily for like 400 to 600. I didn't want to pay that.
But that's not that high of a markup.
It really, compared to what you were
Compared to
saying,
others.
yeah, like CYPB going from 60 to 800, which is dog shit. It's ridiculous. For this to be about double or less than double for secondary is not, I hate to say it, is not unreasonable. Unless I needed it for the collection, I would probably pass on gold. I mean, if you could find this retail or a reasonably higher markup, like nothing crazy, for sure. Gold if you need it, or if you want to try it. I mean, if you're fortunate to find it at a bar that has it for a decent pour. What would you pay if you were at a bar and you had to pay for pour?
When the last time I was where we had to buy the pours, or can't say had to, but it was an option. I think Blanton's was like $40 for a 2-ounce pour.
For
45.
And a 2 ounce is generous. A lot of places will just be a 1 ounce pour.
They didn't have the barrel proof, but I think they had gold, and it was double.
40 and 80.
I think it was like $80 because it was a harder to come by bottle.
So okay, so you're paying for the rarity,
Right.
not the quality, so to speak. And I think you're right. I think if you went to a whiskey bar or any that happened to have a good selection of bourbons, 40 a pour for that is high. 80 I mean, I would do 20, 40. 80? Yeah, you could probably see it. Would you pay it? What do you think you'd pay for a pour for that?
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
Yeah, like available,
North of 100 probably.
Probably. I would say it's up there close to not close to Pappy's. It's not comparable. But price range it, yeah,
Yeah, it's not comparable in the hunt.
Right.
Like everybody's in the hunt for Pappy because of the name.
Right.
It's Pappy Van Winkle. It's in TV shows. It's in movies, whatever. We were just watching Penguin on Max. Blanton's bottles all over the damn place. All the gangsters. Because it's a very iconic, the pineapple shaped bottle. Like
Right.
Blanton's bottle. The Penguin's nursing his wounds back at his apartment. There's a Blanton's bottle. It's like, oh shit, look at that.
Wasn't that on Wick? John Wick.
John Wick, the
Didn't
first
he have
one.
a Blanton's bottles in
Yep.
there?
First John Wick, he had a Blanton's bottle when he went to the Continental.
Yep.
And he's getting patched up. But if you're in movie or TV production, I get it. It's not a tall, skinny bottle. It's a very...
Yeah, unique shape bottle,
Yeah.
definitely. And I love your comment, the grenade.
It's a grenade.
Yeah.
Put it in your hand.
They were actually shaped. They had some that were shaped like that.
Yeah,
Pineapple shape.
Yeah, mine is empty because I drank it, as I think you should. But yeah, I've not seen this for a pour.
Yeah, people will spend $30-$40 as opposed to 60, 70. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I like it or not.
That's
So you
the
get
only
the smaller
place
bottle,
I've ever
yeah.
seen the small bottle though. That's Rick number 7. It was still tasty. And I know we said in the beginning of the episode, higher Rick number, you have the more temperature fluctuations, the more sought after. Could I taste the difference between Rick numbers? Hell no.
We'll have to do that another episode.
Shit. Well, yeah, because you have that Rick.
The 1000. Yeah.
I've never seen a Rick number that high. We'll do a follow up. He's got like a bottle of. Well, this is also barrel select, and I've heard, and I don't, what do I know? I'm an idiot. Of if you can get a barrel select, so Sazerac is, all right, let's go way back. Like Blanton's, Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, Taylor, they're all owned by the same distiller, and that was Buffalo Trace, and then Buffalo Trace got bought by Sazerac. So you'll hear people say BT as the distiller, or Sazerac. It's technically Sazerac. You can go to the website right now and enter the Sazerac Barrel Select. They give you like 1 point a year and then 1 point on your birthday. And then you can burn those points as entries into the lottery. And if they pick your number, you get to go down there and pick your barrel and do all the blah, 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 blah. But in doing that, if you can get a barrel select, because you get to try them, they tend to be better, is what.
Right.
Could I tell a difference if you gave me a barrel select versus normal Blantons? Probably not. But it would be interesting to do those blind and see if you could taste the difference.
Yeah, because most of the time they'll take and blend the barrels.
Well, that's like a small batch, right?
Yeah, for small batch. So all these, you might have, I don't know, I'm just saying, picking a number, 5 barrels. Each barrel might yield, what?
80 bottles?
Bottles, yeah, 100 bottles. Just say 100 bottles.
Yeah, 200 maybe.
Because it's a round number, right? So 5 barrels at 100. So those 500 bottles, they'll take those barrels and dump them in, proof them down, and then bottle it. Mm-hmm. So it's a blended.
Wait a minute.
It's a blended.
Yeah, why not?
Barrel pick, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because then what you're doing is you're eliminating inconsistencies.
Right.
So one barrel is different than another. I mean, Blanton's, with it being the renowned original single barrel, they don't. I mean, they're supposed to not do that. But yeah, like you're saying,
maybe they don't. Like I said, we've never been there. I've never been there.
Yeah.
But I do know that other distilleries, they'll take their barrels. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If they're not labeling it as a single barrel bottle, they'll dump, because not all barrels taste the same. You know, they're not. You have better ones and you have worse ones. So they might take all the worse ones and dump them all together,
and
water them down, and then now you have.
To your point, famously, like Pappy is the same barrels and mash bill as Weller, and the Van Winkle family goes in and cherry picks. So they're the same barrels maybe that's why Weller is such a high secondary markup, because it's the closest you can come to Pappy. Right. When you see or hear the term small batch, they never say how small. Like you said, like 30 barrel. It could be 300 barrels.
Right. Yeah, I was just picking 5 just for a number to come up with the bottle count.
And then something like JD7, I'm sure, is like 1,000 barrels that they're all dumping together.
Yeah.
And just,
Yeah, I'm sure that whatever their hopper will hold, you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
They're filling it up.
They're turning and burning.
Yeah, we were there. It was pretty cool. We talked about it, like us doing it, taking a mash bill, letting it ferment. So then you get the alcohol burn from the fermentation. So that's like the first thing you smell. You don't smell, during that process, you don't smell anything but the alcohol.
Well, wood is magic. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. What the wood does is magic.
That's where you get the color from, too.
Is that purely from the barrel? The color?
Yeah. From the charred barrel. The charredness and the barrel tannins, the oak tannins, give the color. The caramel color. They don't add color, caramel.
Right, but there's nothing to do with like what. In my brain, like I think corn and I think yellow. I don't know why I do. So it's nothing from the corn or the ingredients.
When you take your mash bill and then you dump it in, right? Your mash bill's fermenting. You look for certain alcohol content.
Okay.
Right? When the yeast and all that stuff is done bubbling, done doing its thing.
There's yeast in.
Yeah.
Real? I thought yeast was just beer.
No, it's
really?
in bourbon too.
I didn't know that.
So that's what makes the alcohol, like the yeast and the sugars.
Yeah, I knew I did that
alcohol,
in beer.
Right? So they get to a certain thing, certain percentage.
Huh.
Then they'll put it in a pot. They heat it up to distill it. So then, and there's different kinds of stills, right? So then it'll start to bubble, vaporize, and then the vapor goes and liquefies again, so that drips into the whatever they're going to catch it in, right?
Yeah.
So you have the head, the beginning, which isn't that good.
That'll make you go blind.
Yep. So
Yeah.
then they get to a certain taste that they're looking for, and they may have, you know, I don't know, just say 5 bottles here of, you know, mason jars, right? Then a body, and then the tails,
The ass.
the ass. Yeah, it's nasty, but it's all clear. Then they'll take the clears and put it into the barrel.
That's crazy. It's all clear.
It's all clear. Caramel color comes from the oak barrels, and I can't even say it's from the charcoal. That just adds certain notes to it, so it's not like turning black from the toasted part. You know, like the
Right.
charred
Well,
part of
and
the
that's
oak.
Part of the filter. Something like the filtering. They'll filter out all that garbage.
Because you can put it into a charred oak barrel and then dump it out, and you're going to get chunks of the char, but you're still not going to have the caramel color. That comes from the oak absorbing it and then spitting it out and
Over time.
over time. Like I was trying to make Jack 12 year. Put those oak pieces in. It tasted good, but it wasn't the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's what Phil's talking about is you can buy these like 1/4-inch dowels of wood they take, and then they cut like slats in them. So it almost looks like a camshaft.
Right.
And then you're supposed to drop
It's
it.
charred.
Yeah, and they take this dowel of oak and they burn the shit out of it. It's black. You're supposed to drop it into a bottle of whatever bourbon you want, and we've tried it. And let it sit for 3 weeks is the optimum.
I still got one sitting.
I'm
there.
so-
It's
I still got one for months too. And it does change the flavor.
yeah, it adds character for sure.
But it's supposed to be like you're supposed to take a cheap or a easier to find bourbon and then drop that in and then turn it into a more mature. Is that the right word for it? Bourbon?
Aged.
Age?
Yeah, can't say mature, but aged. I'm not saying like a 25-year-old
Yeah.
bourbon or scotch or anything like that is better than a 2-year-old. It has more character.
Yeah. If you could find this, I would say straight from the barrel to experience it. Even if you can get a shot for a decent, if you could find this for like $30 for an ounce, I would do it. No questions asked. Amazing.
I wouldn't mix this with Coke because to me it's a waste. You got a good bourbon that you can drink neat or on the rocks. Now there is an actual, I can't think of the term, but anyway, like you may take say a 1 ounce pour and you take a sip, taste it, take another sip, because after the first taste you got the alcohol burn, right? So then you're tasting it, you can taste the notes, and then take a couple of drops of water. There, see,
I'm trying.
he's going into it.
I can't do
a couple
it.
of drops of water and put in there, and then you taste it, and it enhances the flavors, the notes. You'll taste different.
People do it
It'll
with
taste different, and it's only a couple of drops of water.
yeah, they call it like a dram.
Yeah.
A dram of wine. And they do it with an eyedropper. I don't have an eyedropper. I thought I had one on my.
It does make a difference. It does change the flavor
It
profile.
opens it up.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was trying to do it with a couple of drops. You know what? Screw it. We're idiots. Screw it. I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was probably a lot. That's probably a lot of water.
Now they're cussing us.
I'm sure.
129 proof of dumping water in it.
He just dumped water in the blind straight from the barrel and made it into that.
Yeah, that's it.
I really did.
But we've done it. The wife's done it. You know, we've done it all together and stuff. And it's like, wow, we didn't believe it at first. Like, why would you think that 3 drops of water is going to make that much of a difference in the flavor?
It makes the later notes show up sooner. So like I got the nuttiness more up front. Like I almost got the burn and the nuttiness right next to each other. Whereas unwatered down, you get the burn, you get like a middle, and the nuttiness at the end. This like shortened it. So yeah, it brings the flavors out more forward, but it didn't turn this into this.
No.
Not at all.
Now you could if you had a way to measure it, you could proof that barrel down to 93 proof, and it's still not going to taste the same.
You don't think so?
No, it won't taste like the 93 proof just because you diluted it. I guarantee it, because it's a different barrel.
Why would? Oh, yeah, okay,
You
I
know
got
what I
you.
mean?
In my brain, I'm not doing the math. I'm like that math doesn't math. Phil.
Yeah. You're still down to 93
Right, 'cause
proof.
I'm
It's
like
going to be
thinking-
93 proof no matter how you look at it. No,
How
but
is
the
it not
flavor,
same?
the flavors are going to be different.
I got you.
Just like that 93 proof. You know, you take a 1 ounce pour, you take a couple little sips, you put a couple of drops of water in there and take another sip. It tastes different.
No. So, yeah, if you can get straight from the barrel for a reasonable price, sure. My vote, skip the gold unless you need it. Blanton's. It's Blanton's. It's good. Is it worth the retail?
Yeah, I think it's worth the retail, but secondary wise, yeah, if
No,
you're
not
desperate and
secondary.
you just really want one, But wait, there's plenty. Just wait. You'll find it. Just keep searching.
What breaks my heart is you hear the stories of like, it's my grandfather's 80th birthday. He's never had Blanton's. He wants to have it and he walks in and the grandson buys it for like $2.50 a bottle. Like, screw those guys that are trying to gouge that guy
Right.
just to try it, or to get 1 out of 8 horses, for crying out loud. And he's got, you have to be 320 years old to finally get home.
Right.
Poor guy. So what do you think between the three?
Like my favorite,
Yeah.
I'd say the barrel proof.
Yeah.
I like the higher alcohol content. Just the flavor profiles that it has. Not because it has the burn of being more alcohol. It's got different flavors, different notes, different aromas, everything. Everything's different about it. I mean, regular it's all good, but yeah, of the three, I think the barrel proof is,
I agree.
is my
Yeah,
favorite.
I agree. And it's not just a matter of this is like a watered down version of this. Like the flavor profiles are different. Like if you can find it, yeah. Not that these two are bad, but it is amazing that the higher proof's not just like I want to get fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
You get more.
We got plenty of stuff to do that with.
Yeah. It's a better experience. Yeah. And that's really, like Phil has said multiple times,
That's what this is about.
like not everybody's taste buds are the same. Not everybody's likes are the same. Cool. So there you have it. We did the Blanton's lineup. Hopefully we'll be doing a lot more of these. Like we said, we're going to do blind tastings. We're going to do whatever we happen to find. If we happen to find it and we can taste it and show you guys, hey, this is $200 bottle, whatever.
Right.
I mean, whatever we happen to find. Hell, we're going to have bottom barrel episodes and be like, hey, bottom shelf, $20 bottles.
Right.
What's the best bang for your buck? But we appreciate you guys watching.
Yep. Thank you.
Appreciate it. See you soon.
Yep.